Hi, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I want to take a few minutes to talk about autonomy and guidelines. Autonomy is one of the reasons why we feel satisfied and fulfilled with what we do. Daniel Pink, in his influential book, Drive, if you haven't read it, you definitely should. I'll drop a link below in the description. He says that we have three innate psychological needs: competence, relatedness, and autonomy. They create the drive from which the book takes its name to live a life of purpose. So the desire to direct our own lives reflects also on what we do at work. We are more motivated to work for an organization that recognizes this need or these needs and provides us with autonomy, mastery, and purpose. As an engineering leader, it is very important for me to create and nurture a culture that not only values autonomy, but makes it a cultural pillar, a cornerstone. But what does autonomy look like in an engineering organization or for a product team? The first thing to appreciate is the context and the applicable constraints. Autonomy is not a license to do anything one wants. It comes hand in hand with responsibility and accountability. Which brings us to the problem domain. Ideally, people and teams should be presented with a problem definition. Unfortunately, far too often, engineering teams are giving a half problem, a half solution to work on, or worse, a solution to implement, which takes away all creativity at this level, or most creativity at this level. Good product and engineering orgs avoid this way of working because people are not motivated by it. Engineers, product designers, or people in other product development roles don't grow like this. The ideal formula is present a problem, give context, explain the constraints, the objectives, and a way to measure them, provide support when needed, and get out of the way and let people surprise you. So if autonomy does not mean people can do whatever they want, how do we manage that? There are usually two types of controls here. Constraints that come as part of the problem definition and guidelines or good practices that we put in place. It's always good to question the constraints and assumptions to better understand the reasons behind them. Unfortunately, given enough time in the software industry, you'll see your share of this is how we've always done it type of thinking. So question these assumptions and guidelines when you see fit. If people can't explain why these are in place, or if they are irritated because you are asking questions, then those are definitely pretty big red flags in my opinion. On the other hand, guidelines should be in place to increase effectiveness and productivity. They're usually based on hard-earned experience. If the solution is implemented within the org guidelines, things move faster without friction. Solutions using an alternative to the guidelines requires also explaining why this is a more suitable solution, why the team or certain teams don't follow the guidelines. So be careful not to create gatekeepers here, the ivory tower architects who need to approve everything that can be used. Ideally, this should not be a blocking step. There is no permission to wait for here. We don't want gatekeepers. Work can continue by announcing intentions. Questions can be asked during that time, or even alarms can be raised if there's danger. But this is an announcement, not an ask for permission, ideally. This is important for the flow and productivity, because consistency has a price, and it should not be required freely. I'm going to repeat this for all the consistency fans. It has a price. It can be expensive. Don't require it without thinking, without having good reasons, or without solving real problems. When insisting on consistency, a good North Star is outcomes. Are we focusing on outcomes without creating too many constraints, with a safe ground where teams can enjoy freedom to apply creativity? As I mentioned before, the technical response to questioning company standards should not be, this is how we do things. And reviewing and updating guidelines with hard-earned experience is a good practice. Well, I love retrospectives, and they can be used here too. So I see autonomy as a pillar of a healthy engineering org, but also of a good company culture. it's great to work with a leadership team who believes in empowering their people. If we work with smart and competent people, if we hire them, why not trust them to do the job that they're hired for? Thank you for watching. I'll see you in another video.